Hey guys, it's Tyler from The Line Change coming at you with another video. And in this video, we're going to discuss an article that I came across. And the article is called, "Is it time for the Vancouver Canucks to call up Jonathan Lekkerimäki for good?" This was posted on Yardbarker. So we've used this outlet for an article in a previous video. I just thought it was an interesting take. Obviously from the last two games coming out of the Four Nations break, the Canucks have had a lack of offense. Matter of fact, they've had a lack of offense since January. So that's why we're going to dig into this article and basically ask the question, is it time for the Canucks to call up Jonathan Lekkerimäki for good, like for the rest of the season? I'm not going to go over too much on what the article says, but, I'll read like a couple tidbits. Like one of the main headlines here is Jonathan Lekkerimäki could be the answer for stagnant offense. The Canucks remain in the thick of a playoff race, holding just a 1-point lead. This was prior to last night's game, obviously, because they no longer have a 1-point lead on the Calgary Flames, as the Flames managed to leapfrog them. The article continues to say Vancouver's results have been solid of late. They've had an awfully difficult time generating shots and scoring goals. The article continues to go, saying while a 20-year-old Lekkerimäki might not fix that, he would instantly become one of the team's most offensively gifted forwards. Lekkerimäki ranks fourth among AHL rookies in goals scored with 18 in 30 games and averages 3.63 shots per game. The Canucks have struggled to generate shots on goal, averaging just over 25 per game on the season, and Lekkerimäki is certainly not shy to shoot the puck. In 11 games, the rookie has scored 2 goals and added in assists with 33 shot attempts in limited ice time. The Canucks are being patient with their top forward prospect, but he might be ready to make the jump. So there's that. Just my thoughts on this. I know we did do a video on Lekkerimäki and whether or not he could be joining the team full-time next season. Reading this and knowing the Canucks' struggles right now to have any kind of offense or their lack of shots, or their lack of goals, I really think that they should do this, especially if they decide to move on from Brock Besser at the trade deadline, which is less than 2 weeks away. So yeah, the trade deadline is March 7th, so that's coming up pretty fast. And I do know on Donnie and Dolly this morning, they mentioned a source told Dolly that, perhaps there could be a chance that, Besser could re-sign with the team and to not completely write it off. So there's that to think about. I just think, the Canucks need a bit of a push. They need something injected into their veins, something to spark them. And honestly, I think Lekkerimäki could be that spark, he's had a bit of a stint or a couple stints in the NHL, and although he's spent predominantly in the AHL this season, and yes, he's torn it up in the AHL, but the Canucks are in a playoff race right now, and they need all the help that they can get. So perhaps bringing Lekkerimäki up and injecting him into this lineup could provide a spark for the Canucks. Now, yeah, it's a little detrimental to the Abbotsford Canucks because they're obviously wanting to make the playoffs, and Lekkerimäki is their top scorer. So they would obviously lose out on that. Could it have an effect on the Abbotsford Canucks and their playoff push if Lekkerimäki were to be called up to the main squad? But, at the same time, I really think the Canucks should consider this, giving him another chance and letting him, continue playing for the main squad. They should bring him up, and then, hey, if things aren't working out, they can just send him back down. It's not like he has to go to waivers or anything like that. Not eligible to be put on waivers. He can just be sent up and sent down, freely. There's no real, there's no reason why they can't, bring up. Obviously, if they were to call up Lekkerimäki, they would have to send somebody down. They already kind of did that with when they called up Victor Mancini for the game against Utah. They ended up, calling. I believe it was Susie they sent down. I'm not. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I could be wrong, 100% wrong on that. But they did call up Victor Mancini, the defenseman we got in the trade for JT Miller. So I'm actually gonna talk about Mancini in a separate video that's coming out over the next few days. Just talking about, him making his Canucks debut. Yes, he didn't appear on the score sheet or, do a whole lot much, but it was great to see him play, and I'm intrigued to see how he does down the line, as he has had tremendous praise by multiple reporters, former players such as Frank Corrado. He's said nothing but great things about Victor Mancini, and he just seems excited to see Mancini in a Canucks uni. So I'm very much looking forward to see how this young kid does. It seems like he has some promise, but we won't go too much into Mancini, as this is a video about Lekkerimäki and whether or not he should be called up for good. At the end of the day, I honestly think the Canucks should at least give it a shot. Call him up, see how he performs. I don't know if you want to throw him onto that first line, because right now they have DeBrusk, Petey, and Sherwood as their top line. I don't really think Sherwood is your top, first line winger. As much as I love Sherwood and all that he's done for the Canucks since they signed him, he's not a first line winger. He's not. He's like a bottom six forward. He's playing in the top six. Another thing they could do is try and maybe throw Garland on the first line. I know he's gone pretty quiet since about Christmas, but Garland's a speedy guy, and I think Garland should be replacing Sherwood on that first line if they're gonna try some things out, shift some things around. If Rick Tocchet wants to do that, go for it. But I really think you should give Lekkerimäki a shot on the first line again. I believe Lekkerimäki hasn't been up with the main squad since before the JT Miller trade. It's been a while since he's been down with Abbotsford. Just give him a shot. See what happens. It's another case of, throwing shit against the wall and seeing if it sticks. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to, come on here and talk about this article, talk about this idea, this possibility of Lekkerimäki being called up to the main roster for the rest of the season and seeing if he can inject some life into this Canucks offense and whether or not, maybe it'll help. Who knows? We don't know, but I would say it's definitely worth a shot. I know some people think he might not be fully ready, but you're not going to know unless you try. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, give us a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button, share, do whatever you got to do. I also would like to let it be known that we are officially on Spotify now. So if you're not interested in watching this video, maybe you just want to listen to the audio, on your way home from work or on your way to work through Spotify. That is available now too. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.